So it's just us tonight. I'm excited, and you will get a copy of it, so you don't have to worry about trying to take lots of notes.
Oh, sweet.
And
Awesome.
it will be the same type of YouTube link that seems to work good. Okay. So tonight we're going to talk about angels, and angels are super important in our journey, spiritual journey, and also our magical journey. Before we begin, I'm going to pick an archangel card for us. See what we get. I have goosebumps about this class. Okay. Let's see what we got. Nurture. So it says, Archangel Gabriel, as you nurture a child, you nurture your own inner child. Both activities are important for you right now. So welcome to this angel workshop. So I wanted to see if anyone has had any angelic experiences in their life where they know it was an angel. Or they may think it was an angel.
My sister seen an angel, and we shared a bedroom, and she said she saw the angel, but I only saw the glow, and that was my first experience. And then many years later, I didn't see the angel again, but my family saw the angel. It was on my uncle's deathbed.
Wow.
And he passed, and me and my cousin were at the end of the hospital, just at the hall, and when he passed, we saw the glow of the angel through the doorway of the arches of the doorway.
Wow, that's awesome. I got goosebumps in my back.
Mm-hmm.
So, a lot of times we'll get goosebumps in our body, but when we'll actually get goosebumps down the sides, and it's like this, that is angelic touch. Okay, so if you ever get that cool goosebumps right on your sides, right down your arches, that is the angels touching you. For me, when I was younger, I was in kind of an uncomfortable homestead position, and one night I broke my brother's arm. We were just horsing around as kids, and I had him on my feet, and I kicked him up, and he just flew. I'm telling you, I felt like I was Superwoman. And he went right into this metal staircase thing, and it broke his arm. And we had a babysitter over at that time, and I was probably kindergarten, and my parents were really religious. And at that time, it was my mother and my stepfather. Anyway, I thought I was in deep trouble, and I was in a really abusive situation in that time. And I remember the babysitter calling my parents to tell them that the arm broke, and I was in my room, and I just knew, oh my gosh, I'm in trouble. So I was really upset and praying, and I remember this woman came out of my closet, and she told me that everything was going to be all right. And after that, and I knew she wasn't talking about the instance with my brother. I knew it was deeper, because after that I would see her at times, and I knew that she was checking in on me after I was in an abusive situation. So for me, after that, and my parents being very religious, that's where my angelic connection started. And since then, I've always been taken care of by the angels. And that's actually what started my whole spiritual search, was just being able to connect with the angels. A few years later, I just remember having memories of riding my bike home from school and waking up. And I would wake up in the middle of a arid desert. And this was in Estevan, Saskatchewan. And when I woke up, there was nothing there. You just see cracked sand. And I would see all these white people at a distance, almost like a mirage. And it happened quite often at this one place that we lived in. And I never quite understood how I got there. I just remember waking up and riding my bike home from school. And I never knew if it was like my stepfather trying to kill me and, putting me there or what. But I have no recall of ever going there myself. Just waking up, riding my bike home. The bike was always behind me. A few years into my life, I started my own spiritual business at 20 years old, and that was on a highway in Aldergrove, BC. And Brett and I used our credit cards. We both had our first credit cards, $3,000, and we opened up our first business, Crystals, Dreams, and Magical Themes. And at that time, we were, just getting started. I was just getting started on readings. The store was open. We were doing great for the first 2 months. On the third month, I had a week before rent, and there was it was not happening. And at that point, I invited my mother and my stepfather, who was the abusive one, to come live with us because they were having financial problems. So they moved here in with me, BC, from Alberta. We paid for the move, and all three of my brothers came with them. So there's Brett and I, not just supporting ourselves, but 5 other people. Anyway, so finances went down. We found out they were stealing money from the till, just all kinds of horrible stuff. So I was in my tarot room, and my tarot room was like this fabric tent. Okay, and that's where I did my readings, kind of like Gypsy. So anyway, I was in there and I was doing a ritual, and I was telling the angels, you know what? If I'm not meant to do this, I'm okay. I'll just shut it down. So I do my ritual and I do my requests, and all of a sudden I hear, we go home, and I'm upset that night and just whatever. I feel like a complete fool, okay? So I come to work that next day, and we're just going to come into the store. We had to walk around the building from the parking lot, and there's this woman waiting. And she's like, oh, I see you sell crystals. And I'm like, oh my God, this is my sign. Awesome. And I'm all excited, right? So we open the store, and this lady comes, and I had this round table in the middle of the store with all the crystals on it. And she's like, wow, you have so many. And she's all nice. And she's like, so these crystals heal? And I said, of course they heal. And anyway, she flips out on me and starts calling me a devil worshiper, and totally flipped out, telling me I'm evil, and then left. I told her to leave. And I was like, oh my God, there's my sign. So I go into the tarot room, and I'm bawling my head off. And I'm telling everyone, okay, we're moving out. We got a week to get out. We're done. This is it. I'm not supporting anyone. You got to go get jobs. And just done. So I'm in a room by myself. My parents are all up front. Brett's up front. They're giving me my space. And I hear the door open up. The bell rings. And this little lady comes in. This little lady's like, what did she say?
She said, you know angels?
Yeah, she said, you know about angels and whatever, right? And she starts talking to everyone up front, and I'm quiet, and I'm listening to this, right? With red tears, right? Anyway, it gets to the point where I'm like, okay, this is weird. So I go up front, and as soon as I go up front, and we had an angel section with all our angel magic books and stuff, and she looks at me, and she was like this short little lady, and she's all all nerves shaking, right? And she said to me, she goes, you know of Michelangelo. She goes, have you heard of Michelangelo? And I said, yes, of course. I love Michelangelo. Well, she took my hand and she looked at me straight in the eyes, and she said, when Michelangelo died, do you know who held his hand? And I said, no, who? And she said, God did. And she said, and so your work is worth it because you will shake God's hand. She said, have faith. And when I looked at her, She had no eyeballs. They were black balls, and they were stars in her eyes. And she told everyone in the store to put your armor of God on, because what you're doing is, changing the world. And then as she left, she kind of went to close the door, and she sticks her head out, and she back in, and she goes, "Have a happy day," hee, and then goes walking. And I was like, holy shit, that was not real. That lady didn't have eyes. And my mom's like, well, maybe that was an angel. And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, I'm getting a cigarette. So I went and got a cigarette, go outside, light up, watch the lady walking down the street as she's like really like weird walking. She sits down on the bench in front of the bus stop, sits there like prim and proper for about 2 minutes, and then gets up and walks perfectly. That day, we made our entire rent. After that, I never had any issues again. So after that, that's when I got into the magic mirrors and working with the archangels. And so for me, the archangels are super powerful, and they are around us all the time. They will help us with anything we want, and it's amazing. So I'm going to move on with some more to teach you a little bit about the different angels, okay? And we'll get into doing an invocation later as well. But the angelic realms are considered higher realms. So the higher realms are also considered to be the upper world on the world tree. And so that's where all the branches and leaves are. So when we are trying to connect to the higher realms of existence, whenever we practice magic, meaning as also connecting to the God and Goddess energies, we are connecting to angelic powers. And there's lots of dimensions of the archangels. So the heavens have different forms, and it's just like the aura, right? We have 12 auric bodies. The earth has 12 auric bodies. The heavens have 12 layers. So the first of these 3 levels of heaven are the angels of the realm. So they're the angels of our realm that we live in, the archangels, and the guardian and angel of princes. And these are the closest angels to mankind. They're the primary contact to angelic realms. So when we're praying to the angels, these are the angels that are helping us. So the angels of our realm are archangels, guardian angels, and angels of princes. Their purpose is to help us, and it is meant to help us realize through their interaction the divine, and to recognize that the divine is in everything and they're always around us. So they are constantly in play. They're not stuck in the heavens. We don't have to call to the heavens and have them come down to us. They're here. So the archangels are messengers from the divine to mankind that are offering us spiritual sustenance and inspiration. They provide our revelations and the tools that we need in order to develop personally. They also offer us daily energy, and it's the highest quality of energy that is around us. It's a heavenly love. So they are our co-creators. And we're going to go into the different types of archangels. In magic, there's a few. I like to call Archangel Raphael. Sometimes during the full moon, you may have heard me call in the archangels of Archangel Raphael. So Archangel Raphael, when Archangel Raphael comes present and we call them, and when it's dark and I try to get you to see the white mist in the air of the spirit energy, well, when we call Archangel Raphael, his energy is yellow and gold. So you will see sparkles of yellow and gold. And a lot of times, even when we're burning the candle flame and seeing the aura, you'll be able to see yellow and gold. So whenever you see yellow and gold in the atmosphere or around someone, oh, look, I got company behind me here. Then it lets me know that Archangel Raphael is around. his season is spring. So Archangel Raphael comes into this realm and really influences everything that's happening during the spring and every day at dawn. So when we get to receive Archangel Raphael's energy, it is during each day at dawn time. And for the astrological signs, Archangel Raphael rules and guides over Geminis, Libras, and Aquarius. So those who were born in those signs had Archangel Raphael there at birth. And later on, I'm going to tell you what your guardian angel is, so I can't wait to get to that. So, the original version of Raphael is from the Chaldean culture, and he is actually meaning his name Raphael. So the Rapha in it actually means healer and surgeon and doctor. And when we see Rapha and then it's El, the El in the angelic names actually represent shining ones or shining. Okay, so Rapha with the El represents shining healer. And Raphael actually dates back way before religion. And he actually was from a Mediterranean seacoast town. His parents were known as gods. His father was the god Baal, B-A-L-L, and his sister, who was the god of storms. And his mother was the goddess, what was his mother's name? Atarat. So they were known as a god and a goddess, and they had another god as a child, Raphael, which became the healer, the shining healer, and a sister who also became Anat, also known as an angel. So Raphael's duty, and while he was here, he took up an archetype, and it was to heal the earth. And through him, the earth is protected, and he also nourishes mankind. And his energies are the energies that include joy, light, love, prayers, compassion, and honor. So Raphael, Archangel Raphael's function is to take care of all sickness, all diseases, so not just disease, but any dis-ease and discomfort and any imbalance that is happening and affecting Gaia's children. So this archangel was also known as the angel of the sun, and he rules science and knowledge. So when we call him, we're asking him for his healing power. We're asking for his knowledge and wisdom to give us that power. So remember that he was put to guard and guide Gaia's children and to heal mankind. The other thing is, some people will call upon him from the power of the West because that is the healing energy. And he's also there to guide the underworld. So when it comes to the underworld, he is part of connecting with all of the elemental spirits. And he helps give them the healing power that they need to bring upon the earth, just as us. So Raphael loves to hang around young people and innocents, and he kind of laughs at us when we're, stupid or acting funny, okay? So he loves humankind, and he likes to visit in unsuspecting ways. But a lot of times people have been known to have full conversations with him. He's the one that will come about and help and then disappear. So if you ever hear stories of an angel that came to assistance and helped and all of a sudden they disappeared, that's usually Archangel Raphael. So Raphael is also known as the catechist. So when we look at the wands, his symbol was the wand. He brought the wand to the human world. And he actually brought it in the catechist form, which we see on the ambulances, and that is the staff with the two snakes intertwined, and that is his symbol. So many times people will see snakes when he's around, wands, or even the catechus, which represents the life force that he brings upon the planet, and that is why it's used by doctors today. So Raphael also gave King Solomon the gift of the pentacle. So the pentacle that you see people wear during magic is what Raphael created and brought to the earth. And the reason why he brought it to the earth is because the lesson behind it is that there are magical tools and mysteries that surround them. So when the pentacle came to the earth, it was actually came to the earth to King Solomon to master the magic behind it. And of course, today we do use that. It represents us standing in the sacred circle, earth, air, fire, water, and spirit, as well as protection from evil. Before the pentagram, the old symbol was actually the cross, and the cross was taken by Christianity. But the cross was actually the sacred symbol that people would wear before religion, and it represented all of the elements in the medicine cross. So Raphael is the angel to call upon for healing. Archangel Michael, he was one of my favorites because he was the first angel I actually got to see in the magic mirror, and I fell in love with him. Like, I could not let that mirror down. He was like, it was the most amazing experience I ever had. So when Archangel Michael comes around and we call upon him in magic, the colors that we see in the atmosphere are red. So we will see bright red sparkles. And a lot of times when I'm reading people, or if the area is dark, you'll see like that reddish sparkle around them in their auric field. So Archangel Michael's sparkles and the atmosphere, you'll see the red sparkles. So Archangel Michael comes around noon. So whenever we need to deal with a breakthrough, and it's like, Archangel Michael, I need your help. Noon is his doorway, and that's when he influences the world. He also rules over the signs of Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, and his season is the summer. So this is Archangel Michael's season. I love Archangel Michael because I use him for every single breakthrough that I need. If I'm doing magic to release something, it's Archangel Michael. So Michael actually means who is God, and therefore is seen and was seen before religion as a pagan god. So Archangel Michael before religion was known as a god all over Europe. And his meaning, and he is, and that is why he is implemented in so many different cultures and religions around the world. So he is worshipped as a god of the Chaldeans. So the Chaldeans are the ones that created his form. Therefore, he is involved with Christianity, Islam, Judaism, everything. He's in every culture. But he was originally pagan. So the structural religions of the New Age, I call Christianity, I call these religions the New Age religions because they are modern day religions to me. But they brought him into their structures because they had to make him fit into converting people over. So Archangel Michael was actually a god. And we can see that Archangel Michael actually comes from a pagan archetype. He's the chief of the order of the virtues, and he is the chief of all archangels. So that's why I call Archangel Michael first. And he is the angel of righteousness and mercy. So he is the ruler of heaven, and he loves mystery. He's actually one of the angels that helped create all of the Sabbaths. Michael is also a very avenging angel, And he loves to destroy negativity and demons and the Christianized deities of evil. But he is full testosterone, so he is also known as fighting without armor. Michael, Archangel Michael, is the one that people will protect their armor before they go into battle. So if you're dealing with any type of battle in your life with anyone around, make sure you call Archangel Michael. He is also, he's also the one that weighs out our souls when we die. So when we pass, he weighs our spirit. Are we good or bad? Okay. Are we higher or lower entities? And that's where you see the Egyptian god Anubis. He was the one that weighed the souls. They say that him and Anubis were the same person. When you see Archangel Michael's wings, you can see at times like movement, and like a butterfly movement. His wings are bright green. So if you ever see like a peacock type of just like movement that's bright green, those are his wings. And he is coming down to bring service. Now, the reason why he was created is because he was created to stand as the guardian of the goddess and the astral planes. So when people are going into past life regressions or trying to get into the Akashic records, they're actually connecting to Archangel Michael's energy, and it's actually better for that to do. If you have to go, that's okay. I can send you a link to this, okay? So he is the guardian of the goddess, and also of all that praise her, okay? So if you are a goddess follower, Archangel Michael automatically will protect you at anything. The place that we need to connect with him whenever we want to call upon him, and just to have that alone time, is any type of natural creek or waterway, because he uses the water to recharge his energy. And that's how we get that healing energy of him. So it is good to have a sacred, some kind of little picture or a little statue of Archangel Michael in your home so that evil won't enter. Evil is actually scared of Archangel Michael's form. The other archangels that we like to call is Archangel Gabriel or Gabriel. Okay, and when Archangel Gabriel comes around, the color in the atmosphere is blue or aquamarine. And she comes around during the time of dusk, which is actually like right now, where whenever the sun starts to set and we get that nice blue, that's when she comes around. And her season is the fall, so it's a very powerful time to connect with her. The astrological signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And we use her. She's actually Sumerian in culture, so her origin was with the Sumerians. And she is the governor of light. So whenever we call the white light, or we're calling any type of white light protection, that's Archangel Gabriel. And her name means shining. So she's the angel of resurrection. She's the angel of death and birth and new beginnings. And she actually works with Archangel Michael and loves to fight. So we can actually call her in our battles when we need to get it finished. So calling her and Archangel Michael would bring peace to you. She's considered the ruling princess of the first heaven. So Gabriel is the chief of the angelic guards who watch over the heavens. She is also seen as the angel of the moon. So it is her gifts that include our hope. She sends us hope and messages from the divine. And she also helps heighten us so that we can connect to that goddess energy. She is also the angel of the written word. So when we're writing out our intention papers, it's Archangel Gabriel that is reading them and witnessing that act. Her wings will show up as bright gold, and they are quite slender and tall. So she is very known as a very tall, slim entity. She's she loves stomping out the bad guys, and she's been known to tear out tongues. That's kind of her thing. But she's the guardian of the goddess energy on earth, and she protects all of those who are in service of her. She loves flowers, and so a lot of times if you get the scent of fresh flowers, that would also represent Archangel's presence. She is also associated with the animals and is the protector of childbirth and pregnancy, so she can be called upon for safe pregnancy and labor. She was also the one that guarded and guided Joan of Arc. So Joan of Arc in her testimony has written about the Sumerian connection to the goddess and also her connection to Archangel Gabriel. And her symbol is actually the lily, which represents the Samson, Virgin Mary, and the aspect of the goddess, the triple aspect of the goddess. A lot of people said that she is also connected in the legend and lore with Lilith, Adam's first wife. And she was the one who scorned him in that account. So Lilith was not human at all, but a being of the stars who refused to mate with the animalistic Adam. And at that time, animalistic Adam was considered to be a humanoid and had stellar genes. So he was half human. He was, in the ancient stories, he was half human and half celestial. So Gabriel and Lilith are not the same being, but Gabriel is the genetic person who oversaw the project, is what they say. The other archangel we like to call in ceremony is Archangel Uriel. And Archangel Uriel represents the winter, midnight, and also spirits of death. His energy when he comes around is green and brown, and his element is the earth. Archangel Gabriel's element is water. Archangel Michael's element is fire. And Archangel Raphael's element is air. So Archangel Uriel is the angel. I love Archangel Uriel. He's one of my favorites. So when green is green in the air or someone's aura is green, it's Archangel Uriel's presence. And Archangel Uriel actually means Earth's great Lord. So he was actually put here as a shining earth being. And he is one that is also older than religion. Raphael is the one who heals the children of the goddess, and he was depicted carrying a scroll. Uriel is known as the angel of mystery and magic. So Raphael heals the goddess, so does Archangel Uriel. So Uriel is another angel who appears to be a god in legend and love, and has risen to God form as a human. So have you ever heard of John Dee? John Dee was the astrologer to the Queen, and he was known to do angel magic. And I'll show you some of his work. It's quite intense and it's hard to understand. But he believed he communicated with angels, and he called it Enochian magic. So Enochian magic is considered John Dee's expertise. And the thing that's neat about John Dee is that he came to St. John. And if you actually go to the St. John Museum that's down by the water there, you will see a lot of his work. And the neat thing about the history here in St. John is they had no clue that he was the Queen's astrologer and occultist. So John Dee worked with this angel quite a bit, and he believed that Uriel is the one that gave him his interpretations of the mysteries and of magic to humankind, especially when it comes to protecting of psychics and those who can foretell the future. He was also a healer and very good for mankind, as well as helping people influence in their writing. So if you want to get into writing, you want to call Archangel Uriel. If you have a block in your psychic abilities, we call Archangel Uriel. He is also in charge of natural phenomena upon the earth. So when it comes to hurricanes, tornadoes, and all of those extreme weathers, that's him fighting a spiritual battle. So whenever we experience hardcore weather, I always send blessings to Archangel Uriel. A lot of times I'll light a candle just to dedicate it to him. The more people that believe in the angels, the more powerful they are for us. So Archangel Uriel is also one that is known to fight evil upon the earth. And he is known to enjoy roasting evil people. So if you ever have a dream of, like demons or people getting roasted like a pig, that would be Archangel Uriel, because that's what he's known to do. Uriel is also responsible for overseeing all of the work that the nature spirits do. So when we are connecting to fire magic, air magic, and even the dragons, Archangel Uriel is the one who oversees all of their work and also tells them of our prayers. So if we're praying to the heavens, he will tell those elemental spirits his comprehension of what should be manifested. And visualizing greens and browns would call him over. So if you ever want to connect with him, try to see the green and brown go into the forest, as that's where he takes care of his energy. He recharges in the forest. A lot of times you'll see him with a background of the forest. So I also want to get into, so did you, any new information there on the archangels? Pretty awesome, hey, to know that they're connected to the nature spirits. A lot of people don't know that. They just think it's like, one realm over the other and they never meet, but they're very much part of that natural interaction of the higher realms and the lower realms. The second form that is closest to the earth are our guardian angels. So the first level is the archangels. And then once we're able to connect with the archangels and we have that balance, we do get into the connection of being able to open the doors and connect to our own guardian angels. So the guardian angels watch themselves or attach themselves to individuals for spiritual growth. That's why they're around us, and they're with us through an entire life. We can also attract more than one guardian angel because we do have a doorway that opens once a year and we are attracted, or a new guardian angel is attracted to us. Doesn't mean the other one leaves, but can if they want to. So the guardian angels are with us through life unless they want to go and another one's taken over. And they may be attached for many lifetimes. So you can have a guardian angel that's been with you in more than one lifetime. And they aren't family. They aren't family. They are a celestial being. But the guardian angel is attached to our souls to help us understand the lessons to be learned, and also to help us become enlightened and connect with the God and the Goddess. And that's really what the guardian angels want us to do. So that's why whenever we perform full moon magic and we call the guardian angels in, they're there helping us. So they are there helping us and our nature spirits for our spiritual welfare, our spiritual practices, to giving us our peace and serenity. They're the ones that let us feel grounded and secure with the support that's around us. They do move blocks for us, so we can ask our own guardian angel to get rid of the blocks on our path, any blocks that we want. They don't care about anyone else but what you're telling them to do. And they love us unconditionally, so they don't sit there and judge you, okay? They're connected to your light, okay? So let's go into the guardian angels. So this will be, let's see what angel, what your birth date is. Let me get to my section here. Okay, so turn on your speakers. So let's start with Jess. When is your birthday?
September 18th, 77.
Right, can you write that down? Okay, so September. And that makes you a Virgo?
Yeah.
September what?
18.
18th, okay. So that is, let me see, that would have been, which angel did I say that was? Sorry, I have to look through all these papers.
Okay.
Archangel, oh, I'm looking in the wrong book, that's why. It's in my magic book. So, Virgo is it Uriel? Yeah, Uriel, Archangel Uriel.
You know, when you were talking about Uriel, I kind of felt a little connection there, and then I was waiting for you to say which sign he covered, but I didn't think you did. And I thought I missed it.
So Archangel Uriel is actually a seraphim angel, and we'll get into that next. So Archangel Uriel, and we're going to go more into the date. So let me get to that. So April or September 18th. So your guardian angel's name is Menadel. Sorry, where am I? Menadel.
Okay.
And I'm gonna see what that says about him. M-E-D, how did I say?
M-E-N.
M-E-N.
A-D-E-L.
A-D-E-L, okay. Perfect. Oh my gosh.
I love it when you
So
do that.
he is known as an energy that brings spiritual enlightenment. He protects from gossip, frees you from bad habits that are weighing you down. That is hilarious. Oh my gosh. That's so fitting. So that is also your talent. You'd be able to break that in people as well. It says that his stone is carnelian, and he rules over the hand of justice. So you like things done right. He also will help you in your professional life, and he's calling you to be helpful. So you're meant to work with the factory of the divine, it says, with individual beings, helping them find their liberty and truth.
Sweet.
You also have the talent to help people find the means to sustain themselves. And it shows that his protection allows you to do work on yourself that gives you the ability to adapt easily. That's awesome.
Yeah, I like that.
So that is his name. So he is actually opposed to slavery and the philosophy of materialism. So he hates people who try to force, foil, or defy destiny. That totally fits with you. I'm sorry. I think that's awesome.
No, I do too. I love that you love it.
So that's your guardian angel. Okay, Tab, what's yours? What's
So
your
I'm
birthday?
October 22nd, 1967.
Okay, October 22nd. Let's see what that is. And so you are with me, right? Because you're a Libra, right?
I am a Libra, yep.
So that was Raphael, I believe. That's mine. Yeah, Raphael. So you're with me. And Raphael is actually part of the cherubims. So you know the Cupid angels?
Yes.
That's Archangel Raphael's angels.
Oh, we're Cupids.
Yeah.
Yay.
And let's get to your name. So October 22nd. Okay. So it's Mikael, M-I-K-A-E-L.
M-I-K-A-E-L, okay?
M-I-K-M-E-L. And let me see what comes up. It's almost like Michael, but it's not. It's Michael or Mikael.
Mikael. I used to have a friend, I used to call him Mikael all the time.
Okay, that's awesome. So let me
He was my
see.
fault.
Oh, one sec. My thing's acting funny. Michael. Weird. One sec. There we go. Sorry, my thing froze up.
No worries.
Let me see what he says. So also breakthroughs, justice, and bringing things into balance. And when he is around us, it will give you the courage and strength to deal with whatever you want. So whenever you're dealing with something, you just call him, you'll get your answer. He is also audible. He likes to talk. Which means that you would be able to work with him on a clairaudient ability. So that's the hearing.
Oh, that's so crazy.
So when you're journaling or anything and you hear, that's Archangel Raphael.
Oh, that's cool.
Or not Raphael. What did you say? Mikael.
Mikael.
Okay, so he speaks when he's guiding. It also represents, his color comes in as a royal purple.
Oh, which is funny because that's my favorite color.
I gotta check and see what color yours comes in. We had...
Menadil.
Oh, yours is emerald green. So you'll get like bright emerald green. I want you to call upon them tonight when you go to sleep. Just lay in your bed, say the word, and focus on seeing the atmosphere and what colors come. Okay?
Okay.
So yours is also, so bright purple when he comes around. Yeah, he wants you to see. So he is the one that will help people see angels. So for you, Jessica, even calling upon him would work and help you see him more. But it's mainly clairaudience. He works through dreams. So he does come through at night. And it's important for you to make sure you're grounded so that you can stay connected to him. He is meant to come. He comes when you start to feel like you're getting obsessed with something mentally. That's when you know that he's trying to come through. So if you feel that your mind is getting stressed about something, or, you know, just like replaying something, trying to figure it out, that's when you want to call him.
Good.
Okay? That's awesome.
I like that.
Yes. So breakthrough, angel. The other ones that we have, the third level, is also the angel princes. And they are our protectors, they're helpers, and they guide races. They're the ones that influence the consciousness of the world. Okay, so when we're in a positive state and we attract other positive people, that's them at work. So they protect us and bring us our community that is connected to the collective spirit. And that's why we want to stay in that flow, because when we are in that flow where things just seem easy, that's the angel princes that are around. Their welfare is concerned about giving us our blessings and guidance. And that's all they want to do, is deliver us more blessings and guidance. They're also to resolve our major affairs in life. They are also in charge of the 4 elements in nature and the 4 psychological functions of us, which make up our conscious mind. So they're in charge of our thinking, our feeling, our sensations, and our intuition. The angel princes. Let's go into the seraphim, because that was Jess's angels. The seraphim. I'm glad that neither of you got the watchers. Ooh. And where are my seraphims? Sorry, it's really... So as far as the spiritual hierarchy, in the first sphere of heavens are the seraphim and the cherubims. And then the princes are part of the thrones, which is like angel royalty. So the seraphim angels are the makers of fire. And they're also the carriers of warmth. So when we heat up, that's their energy. And their understanding and their whole concept of life is to represent the understanding of the god and the goddess, peace, and also love. So the cherubim also represent Archangel Michael and Archangel Uriel. Metatron is the witness of everything that we do. So when we call him into ceremony, he writes it down in the Book of Life. He's the Book of Life keeper, Archangel Metatron. And it's also, so they're the makers of fire, passion, direction, and they are the keeper of the candle flame aura. Okay? So if you can see that pretty easy, hey Jess, when you're doing the candles, that would be why. So the cherubims are the ones that bring us knowledge, and they're record keepers. So the cherubims are record keepers for the god and the goddess. They're also the guardians of the light and stars and the spirits of harmony. And that's what they bring to the earth, is harmony. So their angels also represent Archangel Gabriel and Archangel Raphael. Archangel Uriel will also work within that realm and connect to the cherubims. So they are the record keepers. So it would be really easy for you to recognize what people are doing and where they're headed with it. Okay? And sometimes that will pull our attention all over the place because of that awareness. But it does represent knowledge. So that's why if you like to keep learning about stuff, that's part of that influence. But you take note, your record keeper. They are also the cupids, the cute ones. The other ones that we have are the thrones. So some of the throne angels that are helping us that I spoke of is Raziel, Jophiel, and Zachiel are the angels of the thrones. So the seraphims, let's go back to the seraphims. So the seraphims are associated with the very essence of creation. They like their light, and they're the creator of miracles. So they transmit the god and goddess energy to create the elemental substance of which we need to form. They also represent angels of the miracle of love. They offer us an eternal, unconditional love. And I can see that in you. Just the way you connect with people, there's that aspect of that unconditional love. They encourage and support spiritual evolution to the highest degree until we become one with the creative spirit of the source. So, angels of miracle, angels of the essence of love, and eternal love represent the seraphim. It says that they want to, the seraphim offers each of us who seeks blissful states of oneness in life. They tune our vibrations to the highest level of awareness. And they bring miracles of unique teachers or masters into our life. They are the teachers and masters, and they come in light themselves, bringing purification, burning away negativity, and surrendering each to the oneness of life. They will help us heal pain of all separation and loss. Pretty interesting. The cherubim guard the entrance to the heavens, and they bear the ultimate wisdom within the universe. So they help our wisdom and offer strength to all who are attuned to the word of the God and the goddess. They fill the world with the God and goddess wisdom. And when we are attuned to the vibration of that, we experience the depths of knowing ourselves. It is a clear and direct reflection of the wisdom that they channel into us in hope that we will know the God and goddess and realize the magnitude of the unconditional support and love that lives within us. They offer their crystal clear awareness about the unity of life. The angel of wisdom, angels of discernment, and the angels of knowing are the God and goddesses messengers who share the fullness of love and knowledge. They give us the possibility of knowing the mysteries of life through transmuting knowledge into wisdom. They are the purity of spirit that embodies young children who know they are safe and deeply loved. That totally fits with you. They are not the chubby little children that are depicted in art. They actually are like adult faces, and they're chubby, but they have 4 sets of wings. Pretty awesome. So the thrones, the ones that we talked about that are around us for protection, well, they're the closest angelic force and energy to our divine self and our subconscious states. And they exist far beyond form. So they're more of a transformation of thoughts. And their level exists at a level of pure thought and are conductors of the vibration of the god and goddess that want to manifest ideas and gifts into the world. So they come more like swirling streams of energy. And we can a lot of times see the swirling in different sections of smoke or candles. And that represents their energy. So they're angels of power and they're angels of glory and clarity. And they transmit this energy to us, offering us a constant beam of light so that we can manifest the things that we want in our life. When we are feeling drained, that is when we need to heal and they want to come into our life. So at this point, the thrones are trying to let us know that they need to take care of you. Okay? And they will also teach us how to go beyond any type of falseness that we think we are. So anything that seems to be like off of our identification or superficial, they'll straighten that up in us. And they want us to find, our true selves. So they're part of our co-creating in who we become and our identity upon the earth. They are more connected to us when we are present. So the more present you just roll in your day, the more energy you will receive. It's only when we go out of our boundaries and things get difficult that we start getting disconnected from this angelic power. So they will also free us. The thrones are the ones that will free us from delusions. They're the ones that help us break our ego or any negative things that we don't want. But they are the ones that actually help us ascend. And they're the ones that are actually trying to get us to ascend into an angel. They're the ones that are guiding us to become angels because they know your source. They know your true power. So the thrones are always around us, and they're those energies that we'll see swirling around. So whenever you smudge and you see that, know that that is them. The next thing I have is, we're almost done here, but I don't want to end yet. There is also dominions. So the dominions are after the thrones. So first we have the seraphim, and then we have the cherubim, and then we have the thrones. Then we have the dominions. And the dominions are actually known as lords. And they regulate the angels. They govern the physical plane and the kingdom of nature and the elementals. And they decide how to accomplish the god and goddess's will upon the planet. So they don't really do too much for us. They're more of a governing angel for the angels. There is, after the dominions, there's the virtues. And the virtues are the ones that we call in when we do our full moon magic. So when I say daughter of the shining ones, that's referring to the virtues. The virtues are the shining ones, or they're also known as the brilliant ones. And the virtues are the ones that grant us our courage to perform magic. So that's why we will call them, when we're going, I, Georgina, daughter of the shining ones, is I'm asking them to grant me the ability and the courage to perform my deed against evil movement. Okay? So anything negative on that paper, they're the ones that help move that forward. And Archangel Gabriel, Michael, Raphael, and Uriel all work with the virtues. But they represent movement. And that's why when we call them, they will move us forward onto our path. They're the ones that help us with that. After the virtues, we have the power angels, and they're actually called the powers. And they represent our potentials. And they're the authorities over mankind who will say, oh my gosh, that person's growing, and help our potential comes out. So they're the ones that are able to grant us our unlimited potential. It is the powers. They could also patrol all of the forces of darkness. So they maintain balance. They're the ones that are trying to maintain balance between good and evil. And their whole work has to do with the formation of what's good and what's bad. So we see the powers, and Archangel Gabriel will work with the powers quite a bit to help beat the evil forces. But we see the power angels in the sky. So when you see lots of clouds and it looks like there's an actual battle going on, that's a real battle. And that's actually represents the angels of the powers, especially when the clouds are going fast. Okay? After the powers, we have the principalities. And the principalities represent principal powers of nature, and they are the watchers of all humans. They govern the rise and fall of countries and nations. So with all these wars and conflicts going on, it's the principalities that are trying to get through. And they're the ones that are actually in charge of what's happening to religions and spirituality. So when I see all those things happening to churches and all of that, I know it's the principalities. After that, we have the archangels again. So archangels are on the first level and also the last level. And in between the archangel realms are all of the other angel realms. And the archangels in this represent Archangel Metatron. This represents the legions between God and man. And they're in charge of heaven's armies in their battles against negativity. They oversee all of the guardian angels, and they're the ones that actually break things free. So they're the ones that will record each person's book of life, as well as take note on all of their lives. So when we go into the Akashic records and we're accessing our past lives, it's these archangels that are giving us that information. Okay? And then we have the regular angels, which aren't in one of the heavens. And the regular angels are the people of life. They're us. Okay? When we pass and we become guardians and omnipresent beings, those angels are our higher self. And they are also guides to the humans. They're the messengers of the god and the goddess between man. So when we pass on, we become guardians of other humans. We're also protectors. And we can actually have the power to administer to the human needs that are being called upon us. So when we're praying for things, it is the angels that we become that will deliver it to the higher beings. Pretty interesting, hey? So we'll be guiding and protecting mankind when we're flying around. So the angels are all beings of light, and they're all pure, and they're all spiritual beings, and they take form however they choose. So first you will want to focus on listening or seeing the lights that I was talking about, but understand that they will come to us as an animal or a person standing on the side of the road or someone asking you for change. Okay, there's lots of human action that will take place. So I hope that was informative for you. Do you have any questions?
So are the regular angels?
Which they're not regular. I hate saying that.
No, pardon my goodness.
The omnipresent angels. Let's do that. Us.
That's correct. Omnipresent. So can we, or is that like our grandparents that pass on?
Yes.
Our parents, our
Yes.
aunts and uncles? And we can, so, and they're around us?
Yes. So when I'm doing spirit readings with people, and I'm connecting to them as angels.
Okay, that makes sense.
And sometimes you can have their angelic being come forth, but also the human aspect that was shed here. Which would be, you know, the mental aspect of them. So, but that is not the angelic part. Those are the consciousness that they left behind.
Right. So can they be a protector of you?
Oh yes. They can be a protector of you, and they can also transform into anything they want. So for us, the native culture, we believe that if we see a wolf, it's probably not a real wolf. It's probably one of our relatives, right? So they're the angels that will come as birds or butterflies. They'll come however they want. And we have that power once we cross over, the omnipresent aspect of us. And the only people that wouldn't would be, you know, people that became murderers and lost their souls and spirits. And that happens, right? They aren't. And that's why even with people that have committed suicide, they have an omnipresent aspect. Maybe that aspect is only 6 years old, but everybody does actually have a pure soul of some type. It just depends on their age of it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
But all the negative stuff, that's what we leave here. That doesn't go anywhere into the spirit world. It just goes into the global consciousness.
Yeah, love that.
Pretty interesting, hey?
Well, it is, and it's funny because a few years ago, Shelby had a car accident, and she didn't get a scratch. Like she went by ambulance to the hospital, and she didn't. Other than she was shaken up and she had a few bruises, she didn't get hurt.
Wow.
And when I called the tow truck company to go pick up, so we could go get her car afterwards, he couldn't believe she walked away from that accident.
Oh my God, I have goosebumps everywhere. That would have been Archangel Raphael for sure.
Yeah, but I always felt that maybe my grandmother was with her.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Normally when we hear the names being called or, you know, anything weird like that, it is our human interaction.
Right.
It is our guardian or our angels, our family that is passed, or our friends.
Yeah.
And they actually have more power. Like when we pass and become angels, we have more power than really the guardian angels to do more.
Right.
Like we get to like buzz around. Like I see myself like, you know, an angel fairy just doing all kinds of stuff. I'm going to be haunting people too. But we can do that. Where the guardian angels, once you become appointed, and even in our development as angels on the other side, we can also become a principality or a dominion. It depends on what our spirit takes on in life and becomes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so cool.
But all of the angels are connected to the god and the goddess, and they were actually created, you know, with that energy. So yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Oh, I love it.
So I am going to send an invocation that I want you to do, and before we go, we're going to do it together. But I'll send you a copy of it, just the invocation, so that you can play it whenever you want. Okay?
Awesome.
So we will end with a card and then the invocation. Okay. So should we do the card first?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's see what we got now. You got to listen to me for an hour. All of the angels show us your influence from this class. How will it benefit all of us? What's your message? Ooh, and slid. Divine order. That's awesome. Archangel Raguel. Everything is how it needs to be right now. Look past the illusion and see all the underlying order.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So use them, Archangel Michael, to break blocks, Archangel Uriel for healing, Archangel Uriel for energy and vision, Archangel Gabriel for strength. She's like awesome for strength. And Archangel did I say Raphael?
Nope.
Archangel Raphael for the healing. Okay. So repeat after me. Are you ready?
Ready.
Ready.
And I'll send this too. Okay. In the eyes of the universal spirit,
In the eyes of the universal spirit,
in the love of the divine ones,
In the love of the Lord,
in the power of the angels,
in the power of the angels,
bless me
bless me
with love toward the universe,
with
with
love
love toward the universe,
the affection of the angels,
the affection of the
the angels,
the wisdom of the queen,
the
the
wisdom
wisdom of the queen,
the grace of the God,
the
the grace of the God,
the strength of the human spirit,
the strength of the human spirit,
and the will and power
and the will and power
to perform magic for the service of humankind.
to perform magic
I think
for the service of the
the
human
humankind.
May I perform
May
May
I
I perform
in shade and light,
in
Shade
shade
and light
each day and night,
each day and night,
in perfect love
in perfect love
and perfect trust.
in
and perfect trust.
Descend upon me, thy loving spirits.
descend upon me,
The
thy
love
loving spirit,
So mote it be.
so mote it be.
would be.
Awesome. Okay, so you gotta look for sparkles tonight. Just
Um,
above in between your ceiling and you. And if you can see the sparkles, you will also at times you'll be able to see them every night. Like I see them every night. And at times you'll see them falling on you or falling on your hubby, you don't even know. But when you do start seeing them and you're good at it, get him to look. And he'll see them too.
Wait,
Okay?
Oh, my candle flame is so high. Can you see it?
Yes, it's awesome.
It wasn't that
Beautiful.
high. It wasn't that high till just now.
So play with the angels, use them.
Yes.
sounds good.
Even to find a parking spot. First parking spot. Like I use them for everything.
We're going to the casino with her, Jess.
Yeah,
Yeah, you need to.
we should. Ladies' night out.
Sorry, Peyton.
Awesome.
Okay.
Perfect. I'm gonna let you go and also yeah, we'll talk soon. I'll get this
Okay.
sent to you tomorrow.
Sounds good, thank you.
Take care. Good night.
Good
Sweet
night. Love ya.
dreams.
Bye.
Bye.